This is a good mask. It's good. Plenty of air I can see. But as soon as I'm done, I'm taking this off. And the hat. And the scarf.
Oh, okay.
I don't need it after,
We're going to just keep recording for 58 minutes, okay?
That's fine.
No breaks or anything, so everything has to be done ad lib. But
Okay, 30 seconds.
okay, thanks, Richard.
When
And when you stand up, make sure you got enough.
When I do the addition, I can sit down.
Yeah.
But when I do the 3 masks, I have to stand up.
Well, okay, just realize this cord. You've only
Yes, I
got
know.
so
I
much
know. That's
cord.
why I gave myself plenty of room here.
Okay. Okay.
10,
It's 9, 10, 10, 10.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome very much to Conversations. A pleasure to welcome to the program David Chisling, and he is the comic conqueror, and he's here and he's going to tell us all about his work that he's doing now, which is very cutting edge in terms of comedy. And I want to show at the outset here, Richard, if you can just show this, perhaps this is a book, if you could show it on there. This is a book that he published sometimes back, and it's called General George Hannibal Busch, The Little Big Oil Well. It's a really funny thing, a take on Mr. Bush, and also on the foibles of our military war making and so forth. And David, welcome so much to Conversations.
Thank you. And I'll be talking about my new political comedy show to save my book disaster.
Okay, well, the book wasn't a disaster to me. It was really good, but okay, it was very good. You're looking very good, sir.
Yes, can I introduce myself?
Okay, yes, okay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the General George Custer Busch, Ugly American, political comedy audition show.
Da, 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 da.
God bless America.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
Enough of that. This is gone,
There
folks.
he is. That's the David under the mask.
Now I get rid of that.
Now you got rid of that, and you take
Now
off
it
your
can be
scarf.
normal. I just thought I'd introduce myself as General George Custer Busch.
Ah, right. Well, that's it.
For the book and the new political comedy show designed to save the book failure.
Ah, I see. Well, it's good to have some backup. That's a backup thing. The book
let's
is
get
really
going.
good.
Yes, by the way, this uniform is in the book from the publisher wanted a picture of me. Wanted a picture of me for the book, and this is in the original book, this uniform, the Custer Busch Indian fighter cavalry uniform. It is in the book because the publisher wanted a picture of me, so I gave him a picture of me. There I am.
There you are.
And I'm
Okay.
wearing this for the comedy show. This is my stage comedy.
And we have another thing here. This is the great military disaster. This is Napoleon with about 500 people left.
You
from
explained
the
that in
march
the
on
original
Moscow.
TV show in
Yeah,
2011.
I know. This we did a program with you earlier, but that's the march out of Moscow back to Paris with about 500 people left from that awful mistake that he made. And you're on to about things, military mistakes, and
Not now.
parodying the military kind of
That was with the
mindset.
book. The book is history.
Okay.
It was
yeah.
a failure, disaster. I am doing the political comedy show now to save the book.
Okay.
And I think, ironically, the comedy show is going to be better than the book. The book is good. I stand by it. But I know this comedy show is going to be great.
Okay.
And I'm bringing back vaudeville because my political comedy show will include mass skits. Over the years, I have, for fun, saved... I must have many, a big bag full of celebrity, historical, and political masks from the Halloween shop. And to add creative dynamics to the comedy show, I will be doing, when I do my humor, I'll be doing mass skits, a bit of vaudeville.
A little
W.C. Fields, I'm bringing him back.
W.C.
It's a dead
Fields.
art. But David Chisling is bringing this back, and it's going to make my show much better.
Revival comedy.
It's
Yeah.
going to make it much better and give me an edge and create creative dynamics to make it more outrageous.
Okay, good. Well, that's quite you look like a military guy with the medals. What is that?
This is part of the humor for the book.
1861 to 1865.
General George Custer Busch.
And then you got a police bush
It's
up
a
there?
takeoff on General Custer.
Yeah, I see. What? That's okay.
Civil War and then Indian fighter massacred at Little Bighorn.
Yeah,
My
I know.
book was entitled Battle of the Little Big Oil Well.
Yeah, right.
Which was a takeoff.
On Bush
a pun on Little Bighorn.
Yeah, right.
It was all part of the humor.
Yeah, right.
And book didn't do so well. I had bad luck with it. Poor marketing, lack of contacts, lack of resources, meaning money.
Yeah.
Since 2012, my life has been 2011, by the way, when I did your TV interview, was the best year of my life. Things look great for the book. Then the year of doom, Nostradamus effect, Armageddon, Revelations from the Bible, 2012 hit. And I should have seen it coming because my personal life did a 180 degree and became a nightmare. And I think it can be attributed to those things. I am now just recovering. I've turned things around now, starting in 2015, and the biggest thing is the comedy show, which I've been working on for 14 months. Got the idea 14 months ago, walking around the mall where I live, the Mega Mall, walked by the comedy club, and got the great idea. The light bulb went on, and I said, why don't you do a political comedy show based on your failed book to save the book? And now, ironically, after 14 months of work putting it together, this is my first public exposure here for the comedy show. The show is going to be great. It's ironically better than the book. It really is. It's going to save the book. And that was the original intent. Now, when I originally thought of this 14 months ago,
yeah, we did this program back in 2011.
But 14 months ago, when I thought up this comedy show, I never envisioned it would turn out what it has. The monster it has become.
Really?
No. When I originally did this, I thought to myself, you can do a good show and you'll help boost your book sales. Go for it. So I did. But you know, now after 14 months of putting the show together, I really think and believe fully 110% the show is better and bigger and a monster and is going to be greater than I ever imagined.
Wow, that's
so is it going to save the book? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it going to save my life from the Armageddon apocalypse, Nostradamus effect of 2012, which seriously, folks, it did hit my personal life as it may have hit some of you and other people in this world. Yes, it's going to save my life and my book. And that is serious. Serious business this is.
Now, you wanted to do something like an introduction or something.
I would like to do an audition. It should be about 10 minutes. This is for the comedy clubs. It's great I'm on your show because I can do my audition. And it can be on the internet, YouTube. And if I somehow can get DVD copies of this show with this audition,
we'll get copies to you by all means.
When I go to comedy,
we're trying to support, good-minded comedians here.
When I go to a comedy club,
yeah.
I don't have to do a live audition. I can just give them the Channer talk show that has my audition.
I'd love to launch your career. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, okay. Now,
so anyway, if
you
want
got some
me
masks here and stuff.
Yes, I've got 3 masks for the audition. It's about 10 minutes. If you would like me to start the audition
you want a drum
now,
roll or something? No.
Would you like me to start the audition
Yes,
now?
please, by all means.
Now, I already did the first line. I will start with the second line of the audition.
Okay.
I've already introduced myself and the show. So I will begin with the second line of the audition, which is, this audition show is a sordid, Europeanized, American Monty Python humor production for a sick and demented audience.
You come to the right channel.
My audition show, here it is based on this book disaster, my greatest failure of my life.
Wow. Scrambled eggs.
This audition show is guaranteed to knock your cocks. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chan. Socks off. Oh my God. Slip of the tongue there. Very sorry.
Well, it's quite all right. It's quite all right. Yeah.
No. This is part of the
no,
humor.
It's quite
sick,
all right.
demented,
it's quite
vulgar
all right.
humor here.
Okay,
This is 22nd century humor from a clueless 20th century man for a hopeless 21st century audience. You. Isn't that nice? My stage nickname.
Somebody has to do it.
My stage nickname is the Comic Conqueror.
All right.
So named for the greatest man and conqueror in history, Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
And what is my goal?
Mere lad.
To conquer the world with my humor.
Okay.
And to prove that the great Mark Twain's statement is true, that the greatest weapon against authority and the powers that be is humor.
Amen. 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 I think it's true. Yeah, right. Okay.
Now, folks, I'd like to begin the audition show with a religious prayer to our great leader, Barack Obama. Are you ready?
Well, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
God bless the President of the United States and keep him far away from us. Thank you.
That's your prayer for the
Yes.
president, yeah. Keep him far away from us, okay.
It's a joke.
Oh, I see, okay. Right, pretty well delivered, yeah. Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to add that later in the show, for your added fun and entertainment, there will be a special guest. And now, I would like to do and now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to do a political speech.
Okay.
And for that, I must stand up because this involves my vaudeville mascot. Are you ready?
Okay. Let's see if we can manage this. It's going to be a little bit tricky.
Well,
but
maybe I'll get on my knees.
that might be the way you have to do, but whatever you have to do, you have to do. This is, yeah, now let's see how much. Now, wait, well, you got, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's good. That works.
Who
Yeah.
am I? I am the great tyrant of Iraq.
Yeah.
I am the commander of the great Republican Guard Army of Iraq. What is my goal? In this political speech, to tell the world, I have no friends, I have no allies, I hate everybody. And I'm going to attack and kill everybody. I will start with the Iranian Persians in Iran. Then my Republican Guard Army will march on to Afghanistan and Pakistan and kill all Afghanis and Pakistanis. Then we'll deal with the Turks, kill the Turks. Then my army will march west. And we will kill other Arab Muslims, starting with the Syrians, the Jordanians, the Saudi Arabians, and the Egyptians. But that's not all. I hate the terrorists. I'm a secular dictator, and I hate religious fanatics. My greatest enemy I want to kill are the terrorists. I will start with the Taliban. Wipe out the Taliban, wipe out Al-Qaeda, and wipe out, exterminate, commit genocide on my greatest enemy, because they recently, and this is a fact, folks, they destroyed and occupied my hometown of Tikrit, Iraq, recently, and destroyed it.
Yes.
ISIS! I will exterminate and commit genocide on all ISIS. Then, that is not all. After this is all done, my great Republican Guard Army will march to Israel and attack and destroy and kill all Israelis and Jews in Israel as the great tyrant. Then, when that is complete, my army will march to Europe and kill many Europeans. And I will destroy my two greatest enemies in Europe, the hated British and the Catholic Pope in the Vatican in Rome. I will storm the Vatican and kill the Catholic Pope. And then finality, I will march my great Republican Guard Army to America and kill many Americans. But I am humane. There is one man. He's my only friend and ally in the world. I will spare his life because he is a great Republican like me. With my great Republican Guard Army, I will spare the life of ex-President George W. Busch, the great Republican of America. He is my only friend and ally in the world. And I will spare his life and all his friends who are conservative, neoconservative Republicans in America. The great tyrant has spoken.
All right, right. Whoa, wow. Intense. Oscar. All right. Wow. Oscar time.
Hope you enjoyed that.
Oh, yes, that was something else. That was really, you feel good
went
about
pretty good.
Yeah. Now, do you have
Now,
other
I will
masks?
continue the audition.
Yeah. Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
It's a lot of work, yeah.
for the climax of the audition, I would like to do the news of the world jokes. My news of the world jokes will prove that Armageddon, apocalypse, the end of the world, is upon us.
Uh-huh. Oh, God. That's
Proving that because of
home.
lack of common sense, and what Mark Twain stated, that common sense is a most uncommon virtue, because of a lack of common sense in politics and politicians and political parties, we are doomed.
Oh, boy.
And what is going to happen soon? World War V.
World War V?
Yes. World War V.
5.
Roman numeral number 5. Now,
Yeah.
that doesn't make a lot of sense, folks, does it? Because we had World War I, and we had World War II. And we just got finished fighting the most recent last World War, which was World War Z.
World War Z.
And Brad Pitt saved us.
Uh-huh.
Hollywood, the War of the Zombies. He's the great hero now. The great Brad Pitt. What a great guy, great actor, and a great hero. And by
He's
the way,
just acting. He's just acting. He's just
No.
acting. No, it's not just
what you
acting.
don't know
No.
is that was a true story.
Ah.
World War Z really happened. That was a docu-movie. That was not a Hollywood fantasy. It was a docu-movie. And Brad Pitt actually did it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm very impressed. He saved us.
Yeah, we
But
need
not
heroes. We need heroes. Yeah.
Not
yeah.
now, because now we got World War V coming. And this one we're not going to win. We're going to get slaughtered.
got a graphic
All of
up.
us. World War V, Roman numeral number 5. You may ask exactly what is World War V? Well, we're doomed because we're not going to win this one. We beat the zombies. We're not winning this one. And here it is. World War V, ladies
Oh, you're
and
going
gentlemen.
to do it again. That's really above and go beyond the Call
World
of
War
Duty.
V
Get down on
is
your
here.
knees to accommodate the. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yes! I am Count Chisling from Transylvania, Romania.
We still
World
got the
War V
graphic up.
is upon us, the war of the vampires, and I will be the great leader to destroy the world. My jokes will prove World War V is here, the vampires have come, and we are badass. We are much worse than the zombies. You cannot stop us. And
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, I will kill you. You will lose. You cannot defeat us because we are the vampires.
Oh.
There you go.
That's frightening. That's frightening. That's going to scare
No,
all
it's
the kids.
ridiculous.
Let me help you up. Okay, there
whole
you go.
The purpose of this is to be ridiculous.
Well, it's got to
The
make
more
the
ridiculous, the better.
Yeah, ridiculous is the,
The
way
more
of the
ridiculous,
world.
the
yeah.
funnier, right?
The
more
world's pretty
outrageous.
ridiculous. It's hard to compete with ridiculous if you're trying to do the world. But go ahead.
And now, folks,
Yes.
to continue the audition.
We still got the graphic up. But okay, go on.
To continue
there
the
you go.
audition, I got
Thanks.
to complete this.
Yeah.
Now, folks, I'd like to do the jokes, the news of the world joke topic for this audition show. ISIS.
ISIS.
We're going to do ISIS.
ISIS
Now,
or
what
ISO?
does ISIS mean, ladies and gentlemen? What's the definition of ISIS if you don't know? I'll tell you what it is. It is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Most Americans don't know that.
No, in Syria.
In fact, almost all Americans think ISIS is a bath soap that is manufactured and produced in Saudi Arabia for your personal hygiene. Now that tells you where people are at in this country, doesn't it? Now, did you know there are two groups of ISIS? One is called ISIS of Arabia. One is called ISIS of America. Now, recently, I tried to join ISIS of Arabia. I really wanted to become a member. So I contacted them. They told me to be a member of ISIS of Arabia, you must convert to Islam and become a devout Muslim.
Okay, yeah.
So they suggested I go to my local mosque where I live, upstate in Syracuse,
Yes,
contact religious leaders there who are sympathetic to ISIS, and convert to Islam. Then they will accept me in ISIS of Arabia. So that's exactly what I did. But I just want to let you know, it was a disaster. I failed to convert. I was a reject. It was very horrible. It was very embarrassing. And now let me tell you the story of what happens. I ride over to the mosque the next day in my motorcycle. The religious leaders there are outside on the street ready to meet me, and things start going bad right away because they thought Harley Davidson was the name of an Old West historical gunslinger of America. So they immediately suspected me of being an undercover law enforcement agent. So things were already going bad.
Yeah, right.
So I went into the mosque. Things get steadily worse. I refuse to take off my biker boots in the mosque because I don't take off my biker boots for nobody.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
And then they give me a holy Muslim cap to wear inside the mosque, but it didn't fit over my biker cap.
Wow.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
I can't dress up like that.
Dilemma, yeah.
Got to convert, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then they give me a holy gown to wear inside the mosque, and it doesn't fit over my biker coat. So here it is. It's getting bad. It's going to worse.
Yeah.
Then they're all conversing in Arabic, and I'll be honest, I'm a bit bigoted, I'm lazy. I made no effort to learn any of their language, any simple words, any simple sounds. I just stood there and I refused to learn any of the language, which is not a good, it's not a good for the future of me being a Muslim, a devout Muslim. And they picked up on this. Believe me, they picked up on this.
yeah,
And they
they
already
would.
were getting a more negative attitude of me. Things got really bad when later on in the mosque, they took me into the prayer chant room to pray to Mecca and get on our knees to the east and pray down to Mecca.
Yeah.
And this is really bad. I couldn't help it. It just happened. What can I say? It was horrible. But anyway, as I knelt down east to pray to Mecca with all the other Muslims there, well, I have to admit that the night before I'd been drinking some beer. So as I knelt down on my knees, my big ass was up in the air and I blew a big fart in the room and all these Islam Muslim people scattered and panicked from the odor. And you would have thought, I really thought for a second they were under some chemical attack by the U.S. government for ISIS sympathy. So anyway, I caused a big disaster in the prayer chant room. That was really bad. Okay, then things came to a climax in the evening. This was the ultimate disaster. In the evening, the minaret stereo system came on to do the evening chanting prayers for the people inside and outside the mosque, as they do in all the mosques. And I'm really sorry I did this, but it was an angry, spontaneous action. It's the way I've been programmed all my life. As the chanting music came on the stereo system of the mosque in the early evening, I yelled out, "Turn that crap off and put on some..."
You don't
Let me finish now. Please. Turn that crap off and put on some goddamn rock and roll.
Oh, no.
And I yelled it out.
No.
Needless to say,
Yeah.
they lost it. They mobbed me, and they violently threw me out of the mosque and kicked me in my ass towards my motorcycle, and I hit the asphalt of the road. So ended my attempt to join ISIS of Arabia.
I would think so.
Absolute
You're
disaster.
not a candidate.
However, things turned out good, folks, because guess what happened? The next week, I joined ISIS of America. I contacted ISIS of America, and they took me with no questions asked. They said I was a perfect candidate. It was like the French Foreign Legion, no questions. Join us. You are great, no problems, no requirements. David Chisling, you're in ISIS of America. And what is ISIS of America? What does it mean? Insane sociopaths inside society. That's what we are. And let me tell you something, folks. Right now, there are hundreds of thousands of us inside America in ISIS America. And we are going to wipe out ISIS of Arabia because we outnumber them already big time.
You think so?
And we're also meaner, crazier, and bigger badass than they'll ever be. As our president said, we're the varsity, they're the junior varsity. Okay?
Yeah, get thee to Washington soon.
So, anyway, soon, someday in the future, we'll number millions. There'll be millions of us. And then I can see far, far in the future, there will be tens of millions of us ISIS of America. And I guarantee you, at that point, we will be the greatest threat to the U.S. government. ISIS of America, the insane sociopaths of America. And believe me, there's plenty of us insane crazies in America.
Being driven so every way, all which way, yeah, right, that's the thought.
Okay, folks, now to continue the audition and finish it up.
Yeah.
Folks, for the end of the audition, I would like to give you what you've all been waiting for. The dessert, the creme de la creme, the special guest of the audition show. Every show, when I do a stage comedy show, whatever, we'll have a different special guest of the night. And here is the special guest of this audition show.
The
And I hope you enjoy this one, because this is my favorite, and this is why I was going to do this special guest.
Wow, this is really interesting. I mean, this is, okay. You better get down on your knees.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Must get on my knees.
Oh, Abe, yes.
I know that
Boris
almost
Karloff,
all of you out there must know who I am.
Yeah, that would be
Who
Abe
this
Lincoln
is.
a la a
Now here we
Boris
go,
Karloff.
special guest of the night.
Yes.
87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on the continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and dedicated can long endure. I'm sorry, Mr. Channer, I forgot the rest of the Gettysburg Address.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Folks, this is public now. This is a fact. I have to tell you the truth. I, Abe Lincoln, I'm losing my memory.
No,
And I've come down with Alzheimer's.
age. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
This is a disaster. It's ruined my political career. It doesn't look like I can defeat General George McClellan on the Democratic ticket in this November's 1864 election.
Yeah.
I clearly have Alzheimer's. I can't take it anymore. You know the truth. And that's it. That's it, folks. I'm going to assassinate myself.
Oh, no.
I'm Abe Lincoln, I'm assassinating.
No,
Here we
no,
go.
No, don't do it, Abe.
Yes, Abe.
Don't
Hope
do
the
it.
humanity of it all. No.
He did it right here on the set, for crying out loud. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. He just did that. He just took the whole thing, and I think he hit his head pretty hard.
Well, folks,
Yeah.
I fooled you. Honest Abe fooled you. It was a joke. It's an absolute. This is not a real gun. It's a fake.
Looks real.
That was a
to me.
big joke.
No.
The fact is, I'm healthy, wise, strong, full of energy. My mind is clear. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you shall see me
Bunyan.
practice. Because who am I now? I'm
Paul
Abe
Bunyan.
Lincoln, vampire
Abe Lincoln,
hunter.
Yes.
From the 2013 blockbuster movie hit, I am the vampire hunter Abe Lincoln. And now, I've been practicing and practicing to hone my skill.
Yeah.
And now you will be the first people ever to see me chop the head off of my first vampire.
Uh-oh.
And here we go. Yes, the vampire. Are you ready?
Yeah.
My first one to kill.
Ah.
Yes!
Yeah.
Abe Lincoln! Vampire hunter. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Okay, well that was really something.
And now-
That's really something else, man. That's really you're really going at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the
Yeah.
final ending of the audition show, I would like to quote one of my favorite rock musicians of all time, maybe the greatest of all time, the great and only John Lennon.
Yeah.
And what did John Lennon say in the last Beatles album, Let It Be, the last song, the very last line spoken? It was actually spoken, not sung. What was the last sound of an original Beatles album? It was John Lennon stating, "Well, folks, I hope I passed the audition." And then the rest of the Beatles laughed. I always thought that was really funny. That's how I wanted it ended. This is how I wanted it end this audition show. I hope you liked it. See you later, and I'll catch you. Have a nice day. And I hope to see you when I start doing these big comedy shows on stage in the future. So long, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Audition show over.
Okay, well, wow, boy, relax.
Okay, look,
boy, that
wasn't easy to do.
No, that's not.
I have been rehearsing for. I've been
you-
rehearsing for 10 days.
Have you really? Boy, you really.
What
did
a
it.
relief to get that over
You
with.
reach down to Stanislavski.
And I want you to know
Myrhold.
that I rehearsed this standing up. I never thought I'd have to do it on my knees, but I understand in your
Yeah.
small studio
Yeah.
here with your shortened camera.
Well, that was an ad-libbing thing
I
you
had
did.
to
You were able
improvise.
move with the moment. Yeah,
Let me
that's
just,
good.
oh
That's the
my
mark
God,
of a
Abe
great
Lincoln's
artist.
hat.
A
Got a
great
bullet
artist.
hole in it with a bunch of blood. There you go.
Yeah.
Old Abe Lincoln's hat.
Well, that was a.
So anyway, the worst is over. I got through the audition. I think John Lennon may have a point.
Yeah.
A pass?
Yeah.
Did we pass?
Yeah.
Think I passed the audition?
Oh yeah. I
Think
would say
Lennon's
so.
right?
Well, we could have a way of having a vote here going. You know what? How many think he passed the audition? Yes. Yes. How many? Okay, take a vote. They'll do an instant poll.
That was not easy. I rehearsed for 10 days.
Yeah.
I had to improvise on my knees. It came out pretty good.
Yeah.
Near perfect. I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy with myself.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad you
I'm
are.
also happy with the Great Tyrant speech,
Yeah.
which was, and I'm happy with the Lincoln skit
Yeah.
and the vampire, and it came out near perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could get it near perfect. I
Uh-huh.
rehearsed for 10 days, and I knew it'd be good.
Yeah.
But I'm very pleased. When I slowed down a little bit and cleared my head, and when I practiced, I had a tendency to do it too fast, and I was flubbing up a bit. But here I decided to slow down a bit and relax.
Yeah.
Came out near perfect.
I
I think this audition show here taped on your talk show.
It's there on the video.
No, I think it will. I think
background.
it will get me into the comedy clubs.
Well, let's hope it could. Yeah, why not?
And
Yeah,
I'm
move
hoping there's
over.
a possibility that because of the vaudeville and the mass and my I think I have a good solid sense of humor, but I think because of the mass skits,
Yeah.
using the mass to do some W.C. Fields vaudeville here, a bit of that. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping there's a possibility this may go viral on the internet,
Well,
which
you
will
never
make
know.
me an instant success in the comedy stage showbiz. And I've always got a copy of this for the comedy clubs. Isn't that nice?
Right.
So
right.
now,
Otherwise, you really put your soul into that.
we got vaudeville here.
And
Folks, I'm reviving a dead art. Vaudeville is not dead. I'm reviving it.
Okay.
I'm not just getting up in front of you and telling jokes like all the other, as far as I know. I'm just going off what I know. All the other comedians in America get up, stand up, and just look at you and tell jokes. I'm trying to add something dynamic here,
right.
different, to give creative, outrageous dynamics to this show.
Yeah, right. Like you did.
And it enhances my I call it my Europeanized American Monty Python gallows humor. That's exactly what my humor, my biggest influence on my life, humor-wise. I've had many influences on my life in humor.
Yeah.
One is W.C. Fields, obviously.
Yeah.
He's one of the influences on it. But my biggest influence is Monty Python.
Yeah. Weren't they
And
something?
I think you might see with this comedy show, as I see clearly, that this is definitely a bit of what I call, as I just said, as I just stated, this is the Monty Python Europeanized American gallows humor.
Well,
It's different.
We need it.
And now, folks of America,
Yeah.
you got something different. It's now time for something entirely different, or did they say completely different? You got it. You got a new comedian. We tragically lost the greatest one ever last year. I think you all know who that is. The greatest one went last August. And David Letterman, the great David Letterman, who I greatly admire, he is one of the greatest. He just the other day stepped down and retired and ended his show.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, folks, that Dave's gone. This Dave is here. A new Dave has come. As one empire declines, a new empire always rises up to take its place. So Dave 1 is gone. Dave 2 has arrived. You can see with this political stage comedy show, and it's different, like Monty Python.
Monty Python was something else.
They were great.
Man. They were
So
absolutely.
that's enough of the audition. That's enough of let's get to other subjects
Well, no,
to make
that's
it a better
wonderful.
show.
You look great. You can do.
Here we
okay,
need to show
well,
this.
oh,
What are
wow.
these?
What are they?
This is very important, folks. This is part.
Well, let
I'm
me
a
hold it
professional
up.
writer.
Let
I
me-
got it.
Okay.
I'm a
well,
professional writer. I did a professional job on this comedy show. These are show books for my comedy show. I made these up last fall. They're professionally done because as a professional writer and already being on Mr. Channer's show in 2011, I am a professional. And I want these comedy clubs to know that I'm not an amateur. I am a professional. So I've got show book number 1. Oh, by the way, this drawing here is the original book cover drawing of my book, but I didn't use it. I changed it to this one. The one that you see on the
hold them up
left.
so they can compare.
Okay, the one you see on the left, I believe, is the book.
That would be that one. No, this is the book,
The left.
and this one is
The
the
book
one, the original.
drawing I changed from the original, which is on the show book for the comedy club. This one. I had to use it somewhere. It was very ironic. Had to use this drawing because I never used it for the book. So I came up with a brilliant idea, put it on the show book. This is the original drawing for the book. It shows Hannibal Busch on his Republican elephant attacking and destroying Baghdad and Iraq as General George Custer of the Old West, the great Civil War general and old Indian fighter from Little Bighorn, looking on in admiration as General George Hannibal Busch destroys Baghdad and Iraq.
Yeah, right.
And here, this show book, show book number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a record of the general notes for the show. The general dialogue and all general notes are in show book number 1. Now we have show book number 2.
What is this?
This is number 2. This is the record of jokes. All my jokes will go in show book number 2.
Wow, okay. Boy, you got it down.
I already have, I would say in 14 months, I have assembled over 300 political jokes for this political comedy show. Maybe as many as 350 jokes I've gotten from the news, TV and newspaper in the last 14 months.
Maybe you could read a couple of them too.
Well, not off the head. No, I'm not prepared for that.
No, aren't they in the book?
Actually, it's empty. I haven't had time to type them up and put them in. Haven't had the time,
But
folks.
you
It's
do
a lot
have
of work. They're written on scrap sheets of paper. This is... This drawing here is from the book, which is very good, by the way. I stand by it. It's a good book. I never knew why it didn't sell and become a big bestseller.
But you got to get something inside. Where are the pages that go inside?
No. I have not entered the record of jokes yet. I haven't entered them yet.
You got a picture of me there.
Yes, that's you. That's you, all right. Yeah, that's from the show in 2011. Anyway, we have a drawing here from the book showing General George Custer Busch going over the Iraq border in his tank to attack the great dictator of Iraq with his superior military modern forces on a camel with his sword. General George Custer Busch bravely attacks and drives his tank over the Iraq border to take on the more modern superior forces of the Iraq Republic Guard.
This is the biggest...
And here we have a drawing from the book. This is the destruction of Baghdad.
Is that your
drawing?
That's your
drawing? I don't draw. My illustrator drew these for me. I don't draw. Anyway, this one on the back, one on the back is showing General George Custer. No, actually, here he's a field marshal. He's been promoted to. He commands all forces in Iraq. He is now Field Marshal von Busch. Here we have Field Marshal von Busch with the American forces destroying and attacking and annihilating the city of Baghdad in a martial lockdown. This is another drawing from the book. Just to let you know, these drawings in the book are in black and white. These are the original color prints. That's why I use them for the show books, because the originals are in color print, but I didn't use them inside the book to keep the cost of the book down. This book would be outrageously priced if I kept colored drawings. And everything inside the book is black and white. Folks, that's because it keeps it a reasonable price. If I use colored drawings, the more I use, the more astronomical the price goes, and nobody would ever buy the book.
Just the covers are colored.
Yes, that doesn't charge. That doesn't up the price.
Oh, I see. Well, you're getting
that's a little tip of the publishing world.
All you kiddies out there who want to get on the Comedy Channel and everything, they should pay attention to this, man, because you've plowed the round. You have great fun poking fun at things, don't
you? Look,
Yeah?
I'm back to where I was in 2011 with this comedy show. I'm finally happy again. This is probably with the comedy show now. I'm very happy, very satisfied. I've had a rough 2012 through 2014. This comedy show has saved my life, saved my book. I'm very happy and satisfied with what's happening. I think this show is going to go big. I gave you a little sample tonight with the audition. There's a lot more of that humor coming. Folks, that was just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more of this off-the-wall, bizarre, outrageous stuff coming. Okay, and...
what you could do with a whole stage, right? If you had a whole Metropolitan Opera stage. You could set up a whole opera or something.
No, I stick with little props.
Little props.
My specialty is political humor. I will be using small props and mass for my humor, and I will not change it because this is what I'm best at. I am best at doing what I'm doing here, and I will never do anything differently. I will stay with what I do. And any of you out there or in the future who become big fans of my show and humor, style of humor, I promise you here, I will never change what I'm doing.
Now, don't
because
change one hair of you.
I'm not changing the skit
for us.
with the mask or the props.
Uh-huh.
And my show will be a political show, comedy show
Uh-huh.
forever.
You think there's much material out there in the real world among the politicians that could be spoofed? Do you think there's much?
No, you just asked me a rather interesting question, and I need to tell you something. I have a big edge on other comedians.
Okay.
Because I have an ultimate resource of material for my show.
What is it?
The news of the world.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
The news of the world changes every day. The news of the world changes every week. Every day, every week, I come up with new jokes off the news of the world.
Yeah.
CNN, Fox, HLN, BBC News, the newspaper. I have, like the emperor of an empire, I have control of an unlimited resource of ideas and material. It's called News of the World Jokes.
Yeah, right.
This gives me an edge, folks, because what you saw tonight with the audition is just the little tip of the iceberg. There's a heck of a lot more bizarre, outlandish, vulgar, outrageous, politically incorrect, and unpatriotic stuff that's going to come out in the future. Okay? And I'll tell you right now, I figured it out. I just need to tell you this.
Okay, do by all means.
This is a political show.
And talk to all the people
This
who might
is,
be
well, I'm
thinking
talking to
of
you too.
following
This is
your
a
weight.
political show.
Yeah.
Okay? I am not a politician. However, this is a political show. I am a political spokesman, and I do have a political platform with this show. But I'm not a politician, which is very good. Okay? It gives me an edge, I think.
Leeway, yeah.
For creativity and saying whatever I want.
Like a court jester.
Now, I realize, like any the odds for me, for the comedy show is the same as for any because it's a political show, I have the same percentages and odds as any politician. And I'll tell you a little secret of my view of political science here. If you are... Any of you want to be a politician or planning to be a politician or are interested in politicians, let me tell you a simple political science rule of an average politician. 1/3 of the people will like you. 1/3 of the people don't give a shit. They have no opinion of they have a indifferent attitude of you. That's the other third. Then the other third hates you. They dislike you intensely. So the best you're going to do as a politician, folks, is get about 1/3 of the people out there voting for you and liking you. And even if you're a great politician and popular, even if you can swing the neutrals towards you, the best you're going to get is maybe ever is 10 to 20% of them gonna like you. But you're always gonna have 1 out of 3 hate you and dislike you, and out of the other third that are indifferent, don't give a shit about you, you're gonna be lucky to get some of them for you and some of them against you. And if you're really down, they're all gonna not care about you. You see, that's political science. That's how politics works.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yes. I know that's how it works.
The best that
it's common sense. That's how it works.
The best that have ever, and there's always been so much to spoof. They've always had the court jester back in the days of kings and so forth.
Yes.
And now they got, political satire. And the Monty Python's the best that's ever come along in your view?
In my opinion.
In your opinion.
For me
that's
personally,
what I mean.
they're my favorites.
They were really
but
clever.
There are I've got several big influences of comedy in my life.
Who are some of the big influences of comedy in your life?
Okay, Benny Hill. I like British humor a lot.
You like Benny Hill, yeah.
Peter Sellers.
Oh God, yeah.
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh,
W.C. Fields.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Laurel and Hardy. It's hard off the top. I didn't make a list.
Marx Brothers?
Yeah, no,
No, you don't like them?
Yeah, they were good. Yeah, they're great. Marx Brothers, yes.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
anyway, I got to get off that because I didn't make a list for that. And
Okay,
it's
good.
going off the top of my head. So I'm stuttering here and going, because that's a question that caught me off guard.
There can be people that could be comedians but not being concerned with things political. You're a political cartoon. Political comedian.
I am a political spokesman.
Spokesman for...
With a political platform.
And
my comedy show is going to present a political platform. But I'm not a politician.
No.
I'm a political spokesman, folks.
Yeah.
I'm sort of
Political-
trying to be like one of my great role models from history, who despite his brutality and the controversy about him, he's one of the most brilliant man of the 20th century. I'm sort of inspired to do this comedy show by a real-life politician and political idealist, ideology, an essayist, the Russian Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, who I consider, despite his brutal, controversial, I know it's controversial and he did brutal things, and you can have a mixed opinion of this guy, but I still, despite what he did, I still think he was brilliant, with a brilliant mind.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
Well, you should know it's basic history. Lenin of Russia is huge in the 20th century.
Yeah,
He took over the country with the Bolsheviks and led Russia to communism.
Yeah, right.
So Lenin, despite bad things that he did in his brutality and his callousness, he had a brilliant political mind. He was a brilliant man with a brilliant mind and he was a brilliant politician.
What do you think?
So he motivates me. I don't want to be a politician, but I do want to be a political spokesman because I have a history degree and I study political science very intensely. I want my voice to be heard through my comedy show as a spokesman with a platform. But I'm not a politician.
Why
because
not?
I won't be corrupted. I won't play the silly game, and I won't compromise, and I will not be corrupted like all politicians. I will not be corrupted. So I'm sticking with the humor. My best strength is the humor. And I think with the humor as a political spokesman, with a political platform, I can make an impact. I can make a difference with my humor to influence some people in this country, in this world, to have a different perspective on the world that I think is for the better, because humor is positive. It's to make you happy and make you laugh. Okay, it's nonviolent. I don't want violence. I want happy humor. And I hope some people can see what I'm seeing and I'm happy. I'm so happy with this comedy show now.
Maybe you could form a political party called
No.
United Political
No, it'll get corrupted.
Committee.
No, it will be corrupted. All political parties are corrupt. All politicians are corrupt. I'm not playing that game. I'm a creative artist. I have a degree in history. I know a lot of political science, but I'm not going to get corrupted by being a politician. I promise that. I'm sticking with this show, ladies and gentlemen. I told you I was never going to change this show. And if I ever change it, you can call me a lying, dirty scoundrel,
Put
hypocrite.
you up against the wall in a firing squad. Or
You
a
can call me a lying scoundrel hypocrite.
No.
I will never change this. I have never been happier in my life. I was
glad you're having a good time.
like General Patton said in World War II in the movie. And I don't know if he really said this. I don't know how accurate the script is.
In the movie,
as George C. Scott, as General Patton said in the Patton movie from World War II, it was my destiny and purpose to be here at this time, at this moment, to accomplish great deeds of history. It's George C. Scott in the movie.
Boy.
And I feel the same way with this comedy show. Okay? I'm serious. I'm not kidding now. I do believe that in my lifetime, because I'm over 50 years of age.
Oh, gosh, you carry it well.
Something eerie, supernatural, directed and led me to this point in my life to do this comedy show. And I will guarantee you, if any 10 or 15 things in my life and over the last 50 years went differently, I would not be here now doing this show, talking to you, doing what I was really born and destined to do.
You really
so
could.
was I led and directed here by supernatural forces? I think so. I can't explain it. No, I mean, I'm serious. I really am. I cannot explain it. I don't fully understand it. But I do think I was led and directed to this point. And after all, I said supernatural, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
So,
you used the word.
there it is.
You worked the easy does it.
So,
Tom. Easy does it. Okay.
Folks, I did say supernatural, didn't I?
You did say supernatural.
I did
Came
say
right out
that
of
I
your
was
mouth.
Count Chisling of Romania, Transylvania, leader of World War V vampires, to finally annihilate and destroy human race.
Ugly.
And Brad Pitt, I will kill him. He will not save you this time. You can get the zombies, but you cannot get the vampires from Transylvania.
Did Brad Pitt save them from the zombies in a movie?
You didn't see the great movie?
I haven't seen the
It's a great movie.
What is it called?
World War Z.
World War Z.
I came up with the idea for World War V in the audition show because of World War Z.
Oh, I see.
In other words, we had World War Z with the zombies, and Brad Pitt killed them.
Oh,
He's the
really?
great hero and savior, of our planet.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Well, I'm not familiar with that movie, but yeah.
So, I came up with the idea in my comedy show and my audition show to do World War V.
It's fun playing in the
And I bought that great vampire mask. Also want to say, before I forget to the end of the show, I want to say something right now before I forget, because I will at the end and this won't get out. I just want to say, all masks and props for this show, courtesy of Halloween Adventure, the best store I've ever been to in my life. Okay, it's a cross between Disneyland and Hollywood. It's down there on 808 Broadway, and also it covers a block, 104 4th Avenue, New York, New York. Halloween Adventure. All mask props for this show, courtesy of Halloween Adventure. Just wanted to advertise for these people because, believe me, it's the best store I've ever been in, and I'm buying all my masks from this place to do this stage show and audition show.
And you can find it in New York City, right? Yeah.
Halloween Adventure down near Union Square. Go there if you want Halloween stuff, masks and props and costumes. This is the best store I've ever seen in my life.
Well.
Been going there for years. In fact, I'll tell you this.
Tell me.
Before I came up with the idea for this comedy show 14 months ago, for the last 10 years or more, I have been buying masks at Halloween Adventure, just for fun.
Yeah, right. No.
So the irony was, when I came up with this idea for the show 14 months ago, I quickly realized that I had a great supply of masks for my maskets for the show. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
I already had the masks. Most of these masks I bought years ago.
What a serendipitous thing, yeah.
They were bought years ago, and I already have supply for the show.
I'll be darned.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's a great sign.
Now,
that's a sign that you're on the right course, young man.
You were talking about, I would like to do a little skit here for the talk
He's
show.
going to do a little skit? Do we want a drum roll or anything, or an
I'm gonna do a little.
introduction?
No, I'm gonna do a little skit for the talk show. This had nothing to do with the audition, but we were talking about something similar.
Okay.
I want to do a little skit. This is from my favorite movie. This is my favorite movie. I think it's the movie of the decade, V for Vendetta. This is the best movie I saw in the 2000s.
Oh, really?
This movie was made, I believe, in 2009, 2008.
Yeah.
This is the best movie, in my opinion, that was made in the 2000s. It's a George Orwell type film talking about a fascist dictatorship taking over Great Britain. Stars Natalie Portman and Hugo Weaving as the voice of V.
Yeah, it's got a lot of play.
And it's a George Orwell film type. It's a continuation of George Orwell. John Hurt plays the Chancellor of England, of Britain, excuse me, the Chancellor. He's not the Prime Minister anymore. He's now the Chancellor of Great Britain because Britain is now fascist, and Chancellor is the title Adolf Hitler used in fascist Nazi Germany. So John Hurt does a great job as the Chancellor. And anyway, it's my favorite film, and I thought since I'm doing a political show, I thought I would recite lines from V for Vendetta for your further entertainment.
Well,
and here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
This says a lot about your view of things.
Here we go, ladies. Well,
as it is,
want to say one thing before I start. I forgot to
say.
say. What makes the film so great, in my opinion, it is a great parallel to the United States government.
All right,
Since 9/11, Homeland Security, the Patriot Act, V for Vendetta is a great parallel to the way I believe our government is heading since 9/11. Since 9/11, excuse me.
That's a big
so now I would like to do my V skit, please. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
Here we go.
Vendetta,
Remember, the 11th of September, when treason ought not be forgot. The truth is, there is truly something very wrong with this country. The people of this country need to know the truth. The government used fear to control the people, but alas, fear got the best of us. The people should never fear the government, but the government should always fear the people. The artist uses lies to tell the truth, but the politician uses lies to cover up the truth. I am the artist. You, as the audience, need me.
Well done.
Did you see the movie?
Author.
Did you
I
ever see
haven't
this
seen
movie?
it, but I haven't seen it for a while. Yeah, right.
Folks, those are actual lines from the film. I watched it recently,
Yeah.
and I said, why don't you do a little V skit? You got the mask. I bought the hat recently to go with the mask.
Yeah.
Do some actual lines from the movie.
Yeah. And there you just did.
There it is.
Yeah, right.
What do you
right.
think? Do you like it?
Reach right down and get
Now,
the...
I should tell you something interesting about this movie, V for
Yeah,
Vendetta.
okay. Yeah, okay.
It's the only movie
good.
I've ever seen where the supporting actor, you never see the face of the actor. It's done by Hugo Weaving. I don't know if I know his face or I've ever seen him in any other movies. I have no idea, because in V for Vendetta, V is played by Hugo Weaving, but you never see his face. He's always under the mask. This is the only film I've ever seen, I swear that I can remember, I've ever seen, where you did not see the face of the actor. He was always under the mask. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd do that little skit for you.
Yeah, okay.
And let me see here. Oh, yes.
All right.
How much time do we have?
We have about 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
4 minutes left in the show?
Yeah, 4 minutes to go.
Let me do it then, quick.
Okay,
I
do
gotta
it
get this done.
Quick.
You
quick.
had the greatest special guest ever in your audience tonight. You know
I
who it
did.
was?
It was Mr. Obama, is that? Yeah? Yeah, right.
on.
Yeah, right.
Come on, the
Oh,
fist.
bump.
And I'd like to do a series of President Obama jokes.
Okay.
What will be the greatest legacy of President Obama when he leaves office in 2017? What will be his greatest change in legacy?
I don't know.
Folks, his greatest change in legacy is that the United States will not be known as the USA of anymore. It will be known as the USSA. And do you know what USSA will mean when
no.
President Obama leaves?
No.
The United Socialist States of America.
Ah.
And now, folks, because of illegal immigration, lenient and illegal immigration laws about legal immigration from Mexico and Latin America, in the year 2030, because of our President Obama, the USA will be known as the USSA, the United States of South America. And then in the year 2040, if the migrants from Africa come in illegally to the United States and goes unchecked illegally through Obama's lenient immigration laws, in the year 2040, the United States will be known as the USSA, the United States of South Africa. And now for the climax, God forbid, in the year 2050, if ISIS of Arabia conquers us, we will not be the USA anymore. If and when that happens, we will be the USS of A, the United States of Saudi Arabia. The greatest legacy of our current president.
Well.
How much time I got?
You got about 3 minutes. 2 minutes.
Two.
Two and
One
a
more
half.
joke, folks.
2.5.
The other night, David Letterman did his last show. They did a very funny segment. They had the two Bush presidents, and President Clinton came on, did a funny piece where they did a Ford speech from the 70s, a serious Ford speech, one line. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national nightmare is over, meaning the David Letterman show is finished.
It is.
Now,
gone.
President Obama did the line too, but I want you to know that was censored. It was dubbed. That was not really what Barack Obama said on the night the David Letterman show ended. This is what he really said. This is what he said. Ladies and gentlemen, our national nightmare is not over. And why, you may ask? Because I'm still your president. That's what he said. He did it as a joke to David Letterman and the other three ex-presidents. I think it's great. Our president's great. He's got a great sense of humor.
got a sense
it's
of humor,
funny
yeah.
as hell.
It's good to be able to
But
laugh.
of course, they censored and dubbed it.
Well,
I want you to know that.
They, the immortal, the ever
Had to do just like the presidential prayer. In honor of our great leader, I had to do some presidential humor here tonight.
How many different people do you do?
I've got other masses here I don't even have time to
You got a million
do.
of them? You got a million of them?
I got a
Jimmy
few more.
Durante?
There was no time, folks. I had other masks
Jimmy-
I was going to do for you. And Mr. Channer, for your entertainment, I was going to
Well,
do
you
them.
got 30 seconds if you want to grab a quick one. Just to grab a quick one. or
Here we
something
go.
Like that.
Here we go.
Like Jimmy Durante said, I got a million of them. Okay.
This is awful news.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I am assassin for
Oh
Cleon
my
Empire.
God! Oh, no,
I murdered Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy,
no.
who died the other month, I assassinated, murdered him for Cleon Empire. I killed a hated Vulcan. I murdered him, LAPD,
Oh, I'm so
Los
scared.
Angeles Police. I'm hiding in New
Scare
York.
me.
Come and
Oh,
pick me up. You can
oh.
pick me up and come in, bring me back for jail and
This
interrogation in
program's
LA. And I assassinated and murdered Leonard Nimoy did not die of natural causes. I have murdered Leonard Nimoy. I hated Vulcan.
This is a special edition for the kiddies of
How'd you like
David
that?
Chisling, the comic conqueror. Sorry we've come to the end of this. Thank you, David. It's been really hard. I know you've reached down deep into your consciousness using Stanislavski and
I tried doing this last time. It got cut off. Let's see if we get it now.
One more time. We got it quickly. Good to close off the day. There it is, out in this desert setting. Yes, it's so good. Thank you, President.
I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook. I didn't do it.
Are you sure you're not a crook?
No,
Are you sure you're not a crook?
No, victory.
All the
I'm not a
rest
crook.
of you politicians are crooks.
Last time
I
we
heard
did this,
you
I
say
put it on. I put it on, and the show had already cut off.
Okay.
Richard
Well,
Nixon.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, that's
it.
good. All right.
I'm done.
Applause for David Chisling, and thank you, David, for coming in. Thank you, everyone. We'll come back again tomorrow. Welcome to the desert.
This is wild.
I know.
This is insane. Do you realize this is very different?
Yeah.
Do you realize what I've done?